that. So I think your perspective, I think it's great that we have an officer on board. I think there's, we kind of got three good levels here. We have a person who was a NCO, senior NCO, and now we've got an officer. We've spoken to a mix as well, like we did with Commander O'Malley or Captain Cooper and Sergeant Marquez, and I think Doug Snodgrass got out as a captain or a major, but he was up there. So we're open to all branches, all ranks, all rates, as we say in the Navy as well. And we hope to really hit home with some, like I said, some really good podcasts that are fascinating. And we will go once in a while, because I am a history buff. So I will pull this into, if I can get a good author like I did with James Hornfisher or Bradford Tillman, we'll do that. I think that while it's great sometimes to talk to folks that have served, and we'll probably get people from Vietnam up, I think it's important that we stay in touch with those who can tell us what happened, through the lens of the folks who fought in other wars as well.
Absolutely. I think we're part of a very humble brotherhood, where a lot of these heroes, a lot of these soldiers have absolutely great stories, veterans alike. And if those stories aren't heard, if they're not chronologized, then there's nobody will ever know, and it'll go to the grave. And I think with technology on our side, we have an absolutely amazing opportunity here to have those stories heard and gain a larger listening base, and hopefully take this and absolutely run with it. So I think the stories that you've already told, I don't know how somebody would not want to listen to these. And there's just so many great stories out there, and it comes on open ears. So
I hear you. Okay. Well, what we're going to be doing is, like I said, sometimes it'll be the three of us interviewing folks. Sometimes it might be one-on-one, depending on schedules and who you can get in touch with. And, we'll, like I said, our goal here is from now on is to get a show out every other week. And the three of us will be, looking at, outlines and timelines for the next few months and seeing what we can do. And, sometimes we'll be recording maybe 2 or 3 shows a weekends, and sometimes it'll be once every couple of weeks, depending on schedules. So it'll be fun. And I think that for me anyway, having a team like this with you and Abbey will really allow this thing to take off. And the other thing is that we really need to do is make sure that, one listener tries to get 2 or 3 more to listen, so that we can broaden the aspect of this, get more people who want to talk. What I am finding is, and it was a struggle for me, is that veterans are kind of hesitant to talk. And I do get that. And we do not want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. The whole idea is to come on, have a conversation, and, just say whatever you feel and tell us what happened, or, any great adventures. Like I said, it's, when I say great adventures, I'm talking, it could be some of the weird things that have happened to me, like on a Navy base, just, being stupid and maybe having 1 or 2 many pints. So there's
Sure.
anything out there goes. I just think it's the sharing of experiences. But we do ask you, please, to to text this podcast out, to Facebook it out, to tweet it out. We are doing this as a hobby. There is nothing financial in this for us. It is strictly 100% cost that we're putting out to do it. I want people to realize that we're not looking for listeners just to get numbers. We're looking for listeners so that we can broaden the scope and see if they would like to join, and see if we can get people to really enjoy this podcast for the long haul. So that's what we're after. I think it's going to be a wonderful time for all of us. And I guess, Travis, before we stop this show, because we've got to start recording another one in a little bit,
Yep.
Any final thoughts from you?
You know what, Ken, just to reiterate what you'd already said, to pull these stories in, and hopefully we're also pulling in some listeners. It's really a great opportunity for our organization, our internal organization, to spread its wings a little bit as well. We're represented by many different branches, many different walks of life, different services, even different services within the same branch. So the diversity is great, and I hope that I can add a new flavor to the mix and help out as much as I can. And I want to be a servant leader, just like yourself and Abbey, and take this and really expand upon all the potential that it has. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't thank you guys enough for giving me the opportunity to be part of it.
Oh, no, the thanks is all on this side for taking time. As you're going to see, this is going to take some time, and there's some effort that gets put into this, especially when we start getting into the technical aspects of it. But I find it enjoyable. I want to thank you as well for being part of our Veterans Resource Group with the company that we have. I think that is a rich environment for folks. I have no problem if we want to use this podcast as a way to communicate information out to them and to other chapters as they develop across our company as well, and other companies that are interested in establishing a Veterans Resource Group. I think we've got a pretty good roadmap. Again, we're new on our journey, but I think that it's come a long way in a short period of time, thanks to all your efforts. So, all right, Travis.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we're gonna get ready for another interview, which you people will hear in a couple of weeks. That, like I said, our goal is to drop every Saturday, every other Saturday, excuse me, going forward, and hopefully we'll be able to hit that schedule. And we appreciate you. All right, so
Absolutely.
All right, so for us, I just want to get a quick call out to the executive producers of the United Federation of Podcast Network. That is Brandon-Shea Mutala, Zach Moore, Tony Robinson. Thank you guys for helping to establish this group of podcasts. We have a very diverse podcast list on this network. So if you want to learn anything and everything about Disney, for example, we've got Mickey's Marvels. I know it sounds funny, but it's actually a brilliant name because I came up with it for the team, and they do a really good job talking about all things Disney, and of course that's a big net there. And then we've got Franchise Fatigue with Brandon and Zach, who talk about all movie franchises, and they have got quite a diverse grouping of movies. They've gone from Jaws to The Man with No Name to the Terminator series. They're all over the board, but they're very entertaining. And if you like some fun times when you're on a long ride and you just feel like having a laugh, all these podcasts are great. We have Trek Pods with Tony Robinson, and we have our latest edition, which is All Good Things. And it's a Star Trek Universe podcast with Amy Nelson and Patrick Devlin. And they're brand new, probably 5 or 6 episodes. They're both experienced podcasters that came over from other networks to really put a very good show. Right now, they're focused on the new series Picard. So if you're into Star Trek, that's another one for you. And then there's us, General Quarters. We have absolutely nothing in common with any of those entertainment shows, but that's all right. We will be the veteran's choice for podcasts, we hope, as we continue to work hard and get this material out. So thank you all for listening. And one last thanks to my son, Zachary Tripp, who's done the music, not only for this podcast, but for many of the others on the network. Zach is, as I get to brag about my son, is very, very talented, and we appreciate you, Zach. So there we are. Listeners, we'll be talking to you in 2 weeks. You take care, and we'll talk soon.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.